Sydney Blankenship.
Tyler.
Janelle. Emily.
Carl.
I'm Brennan.
And I'm here to talk today about man's best friend. Now this little friend like right here isn't just to look cute, he's actually going to be my visual aid for the representation. 89.7 million dogs live in the USA today. Think about that, that's more than most cities. It's kind of crazy. There's about 124.587 million homes that they belong to. 40% of them keep dogs, and 44% of them are adopted, 25 are going to be breeded. This little guy came from a breeder. And the rest of them go to shelters. 25% of the animals found in shelters are purebred dogs. The rest tend to be mixed breed dogs. It's a little sad to think about. And every year we euthanize about 2.4 million dogs. Overcrowding is a problem. And a big problem because of it is because we try to overbreed certain breeds. Now, more consideration should be put into what type of animals we bring into our homes, more based on personalities than looks. Selective breeding has always been a thing. We've done it since wolves. We would take the mean wolves and take them out behind the shed, and the nice wolves we'd let stay near us and eat the food. Now, the temperaments we have for dogs nowadays that we've bred is a hunting dog, herding dog, police dogs, bullfighting dogs, and family dogs. He's part of the family dog genus. And most physical traits that we find in dogs that we find so endearing tend to be incidental. They're bred for certain personality traits, and like Labradors, they didn't want them to look like a sweet little baby boy, but they came out looking that way. In the 1884, AKC was found. That's the American Kennel Club. And that kind of tells you how old our standards are for what constitutes a breed of dog. That's nearly 200 years. The laws for breeding, behavior, and physical attributes were founded in 1889. So only 5 years after, we've been following those kind of laws since. The animals are bred for certain tasks, and while that is a useful tool when we're talking about a bomb dog, a police dog, a guard dog, when it comes to the everyday pet, we don't really need something with high energy, high attack force. That's not something you really want going near your kids. Now, an interesting thing that's happened in the last 50 years is the Russian silver fox experiment. Kind of leftover Russian scientific forces wanted to see how exactly we came to get the domestic breed of dog we got today. So they took one of the closer ancestors, the Russian fox, which was bred mostly for coats, and they took the nice foxes and bred them, and they culled the meat foxes. And it was very intensive, and they did it in about 50 years, and now they have a completely new breed of animal. They haven't really given it a name or anything. It's still a silver fox, but its ears are floppy, its eyes are bigger, and it loves people. And that's only in 50 years. That kind of thing we've been doing for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and that's why we have such different types of breeds of dogs. Now, an incidental thing with us wanting a specific look, wanting a specific behavior is pure breeding tends to lead to inbreeding. Now, he is a purebred Pomeranian. And if you noticed, he's not just fashionable, he's also got a little thing called alopecia. The hairs on the back of his head will never grow, and the hairs on the back of his leg will never grow either. And he gets car sick very easily. He had a rough time on the way here, and now he's just having a little rough time. Now he still has the great temperament, he still has a soft coat, but because they weren't really checking out his ancestors to make sure they weren't related, he got a lot of the bad genes that you might get from inbreeding. They need genetic diversity so we don't get little misshapen babies who are just the sweetest. And every time we breed pure breeds, we tend to give it a little bit of a bottleneck. So we shove a whole bunch of dogs in, and they can't get the genetic diversity out. And so we start to get things like the bulldog, which sweet lovely animals that they are, they have breathing problems, they have trouble moving, they have hip dysplasia. They can't even mate naturally. Most bulldogs are artificially inseminated. Think about that. And they look this way, completely different look from 100 years ago, might I mention. They look this way because we wanted them to have a stockier build. We wanted their jaw to protrude more because there was a certain look, a certain standard that the American Kennel Club and the British Kennel Club both enforced. Now, unfortunately, most scientists agree that even if we do start to do selective breeding and try to breed in other bully breeds, the bulldog is never going to go back to how it was 100 years ago, and more than likely the breed will die out.